Good evening, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Good Servant Show. Praise the Lord Jesus Christ. That's what we're here for. That's what I'm here for. I don't know. That's what I'm here for. I will say that I'm grateful that I'm on time tonight. I really am. I was trying to fit everything together and I couldn't. And there was a couple of people I really wanted to talk to this last hour. And it's hard to fit everything in. And I think that, but there's a reason for everything, you know. I know that if I leave everything completely up to God and let Him guide my steps, I know that it'll always work out, because this is it's almost like I create my own problems, right? By saying, I expect this to happen, and if this doesn't happen, then life will be bad. But then the thing that I don't want to happen actually happens. And, initially you get like upset or miserable or whatever, and then you see that you were wrong the whole time. You had nothing to worry about. It ended up being better than it was before, and you're like, wow, I really don't know what's best for me. Like, because I wanted to avoid this situation as much as possible, with all my energy, and it was the best thing for me. For every door that closes, another one opens, and maybe it's not even worth worrying about. It's better to just trust, right? It's all about trust, faith, belief. I believe that no matter what happens, God will get me to the next spot, and that I was supposed to be where I was at, and I'm supposed to be going where I'm going. And for me to try to control that, try to control my direction, try to control, what happens in my life and the people around me. And because number one, you learn that you really aren't in charge of nothing. You're in control of zero. And number two, people are going to do what they do. And you can't let it affect how you feel. And I know that that's easy to say. But once you realize that you're in charge of your own feelings, and if people want to play games or, do things to intentionally antagonize you, right? Just, to not react to it is probably the best thing, right? Because, they're just going to keep doing it, especially if it affects you. And that this is crazy that we're adults and we should be talking about stuff like this, but it's insane, right? Hey, what's going on, Lariva? Hey, Deb. Hey, Luke. So busy dropping in to say, oh, yes, absolutely. Peace to you as well. Okay, yeah. See you in the morning. Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. That was very nice. Yeah. And but like that's the thing, guys, right? We are in charge of our feelings and our emotions, right? They seem out of control. They seem like it just automatically happens and there's nothing we can do about it. But we really can control our emotions. It's more like an animal than something that's you can tame it, and to not give in to our emotions is because have you ever been like angry and then you say things that you kind of don't mean, or 20 minutes after the outburst or whatever, you're like, oh, I should have said this or I should have said that. It's because you think more clearly when you're not emotional. So like after a conversation's done, then you start thinking of all the things you should have said, or oh, I wish I wouldn't have said this or that. And so like to be clear-headed is good, so that way you can focus on like what's important, right? Is this is God's world. We're a character in his narrative, and he's got it all worked out, and we just need to be what he wants us to be. That's it. I mean, it really is simple if you think about it. It's not about achieving anything. It's not about winning anything. It's not about having more trophies or degrees than the other person. It's not about being rich. It's not about eating every day. It's just about being a character in God's story, right? And, he defines everything that's right and wrong. We don't even have to have our own opinion of right and wrong. I could disagree and still do what God says. You know what I mean? Like, you know how like when you lived with your parents when you were younger, you're like, oh man, there are all these rules, man. But you did them anyway, You did them anyway out of respect for your parents, right? It's like, I don't know why I can't watch TV after 8 o'clock at night. Don't make no difference, right? But you do it, right? And so even if you disagreed, which I'm starting to fall in love with all the rules because I see how they benefit my life, It's not just there to exclude me from something, or to pick on me, or to be unfair. It's there to because it's better for me. And the reason it's there is because I can't come up with that on my own consistently, you know? And so there's a lot of things there's a lot of things about Christianity that didn't make sense to me when I first got involved with it. But then again, I had this weird uh, image of what Christianity really was. Like a lot of things didn't make sense to me. It's like, why can't I do this or that or whatever, And you question it for a second, but if it's not something you really want to do, you just fall in line, But some things were like, yeah, why can't I do that if I wanted to, It's weird. But then when you see all the problems that each thing, could bring, you're like, man, I get it now. I get it now. If he says don't eat something, it's because it's not good for you. If he says don't touch the stove, it's because it's hot, right? And then when he tells you, okay, it's okay to eat stuff now, then it's okay. You know what I mean? Like now you can, And I don't know, man. So it's just interesting, right? How, and then but this is what I don't get, right? It's how people react to the Bible, right? It's like they'll focus on one thing, right? Like, okay, I'm gonna focus in about I don't know, like farming or whatever, and then they look at all the rules about farming, right? And then they're like, oh yeah, like we're in the farmer section of Christianity, where all the farmers like they're separating themselves from everyone else, or they'll have a different view of something than most people, and then create a whole doctrine on it. Like, okay, we're the people that do this. We're the people that we celebrate Wednesdays. That's what we do. We're the Wednesday people now, And you're like, wow, that's I mean, here's I don't know why people even have to have like a an opinion about anything, right? If it's in there, it's in there. And if you're reading it and understanding it for yourself, then you know. But why is my opinion important to you? You know? That's what I never understood. Yeah, there's basic things that are true, and it's true for everybody because that's the way it is in there. And of course, if I was like had some deficient understanding of it, then yeah, I'd need help, right? But you know, for me to put it in my own words, it just makes no sense. Not to me. It's a setup, right? It's a setup for like someone to criticize it, you know? And then, then you get two or three people behind you and you're like, oh man, I got to deal with this again, people ganging up on me, man, because of what I put. And then people are like, oh yeah, it depends on what your definition of is, and you're like, oh man, here we go with this, right? Like the Bill Clinton, the Monica Lewinsky trial. He wanted them to define the word is. It's because it can get really silly, man. I mean, we're all in this together, man. We're all trying to get out of here, man. It's not like any of us are really like what you want and what I want are the same. It's the same. We want the same stuff. We all want to have all the same benefits and stuff at the end of this whole thing. We want to, experience what God has promised us. We want peace. We want to be in a place where there's no foulness and, craziness and abuse and hurt and all that stuff, right? I mean, if we all didn't want that, then that's another sad situation to address, right? And I don't want to have to start every show with like, oh yeah, it's just messed up out there, guys. It's messed up because we know that it's messed up, man. I mean, if there's something new messed up out there, then yeah, okay, I kind of want to hear about it. What are they up to now, right? But we know it's messed up. I want to focus on what's the next opportunity that could be true. That's not just pure speculation that could get me out of here. You know what I mean? And I'm excited about it, whether it's my belief or not, right? Like, even if I was a non-rapture person and there was a chance that there was a rapture coming up, I'd be like, okay, well, it's something to get excited about. I could roll with that. If it happens, I'd be happy. I wouldn't be against it happening, that's for sure. I definitely wouldn't be like, oh no, God, you got to come back a different day. That's not going to work for me, I don't know, man. I don't know why this place is like this, man. I don't. Because like, even if it was like all good, right, and there was no bad or pain or anything, it's still weird, man. There's still a lot of weird stuff going on. Like, do we all really live that far away from each other to where we have to have all these different ways of behaving? Like, I don't know, man. Even different parts of America, everyone acts different, It's like, it's just, I don't know. Maybe that's not even that weird, man, to be honest. But it's like, like I was thinking about like hunting and stuff like that. I don't know if I could do it, man. I mean, I probably could do it if I got hungry enough, right? But like, would I want to be like every day, killing a bird or, for dinner or whatever? I don't know if I'd want to do that, man. I maybe once a week I could get myself to do something like that, but I don't know if I could be an everyday, okay, it's time to eat Fido, the chicken. I had to specify so you don't think it's a dog. But Fido the chicken here is going to be dinner. But I get it, that spiritual connection to that animal, right? To know that it had to die for you to have sustenance. I get that. And a lot of that is lost when you buy stuff at the store. It's already done, right? Rob says he planted a big seed with a coworker today. She was a hardcore non-believer, but by the end, she was thinking hard about Jesus being real. Nice. Well, what did you say to her? Like, what was the big seed, like did you go with the ever dangerous flat earth first, or did you just start off with Jesus, which is also a good way to go. Sometimes you got to feel it out, and then you either go for it straight, or you go ease into it. That's great. You planted a seed, man, today. I'm always afraid of planting seeds too big, but I think the biggest you could go, the better. Yeah, that's great, Rob. I'm grateful for that. I'm always grateful for you being here, man. Just your presence here, man. Who was I talking to about you? Oh yeah, Deb yesterday about you. About, I'm like, yeah, Rob's cool, man. Rob says a lot of references to the Bible version. Oh, that's cool, man. Oh, because how it's matching up, right? Yep. Good move, man. Good move. Because the Bible in reality, right, which I think are both the same thing, are matching up, to where regular people could see it now. They could see it all happening. Yeah, don't go around telling everyone the Earth is flat unless you know that's something that you could, yeah, because that could cause some contention, man. You get people to be mad at you, and then the more you prove it right, the more they hate you. Yeah, you might end up in a psychiatric unit. It's crazy, man. And so, yeah, that's great, Rob. Well, if you and Deb want to come on the show together, that would be great. I've been trying to get Deb up here for, I don't know, since I met her. I think that would be great. There's some people that won't like Hannah. I'd like to have her up on here. I've known Hannah like almost 6 years, and I've never heard. Well, I've heard her voice one time on a video. She sounds like any other Australian, but it'd be nice to have her on the show, or Deb or other people or whatever. Luke says I got mad. Oh, I got mad fun. Oh, you got made fun of at your job, your old job, for telling people the Earth is flat. But one person did start to believe it. But like that one person, right, was like you were so happy that somebody was starting to buy it. You were like, oh yeah, this this is my new buddy now. Like you start depending on that dude that's awake, the other person that's awake, because that's what's going to happen. You start talking the truth, right? And the majority of the people, overwhelmingly the majority, will be against you, even if like you've proved it, or like, and it's like the more you prove it, the more there's no doubts, or like you've debunked what they're saying, the more mad they get, man. And you're like, wow, man, why are you getting so mad, man? It just means God's real, man. This is great, man. It's like hallelujah, right? Like, because my next thing would be like, okay, since the earth is flat and we're in here, someone put us in here. Obviously, we didn't grow in here. And so uh you know, you'd have to say God is real. And then the next question is, which God? Which God is real? Then you start telling them stories about the Tower of Babel, and all the evil in the world is aimed at Jesus, right? It, it's it's uh it's hard to hate a God that's not real. No one walks around saying, "Oh man, you know, Buddha is the worst." You know what I mean? Or or yeah, man, we really don't like Allah, you know? It's crazy. Sorry guys, I had to get some water. But yeah, saying the name of Jesus is a seed. That's right. That's right. Or even just thanking God, you know, like even if you don't even if you don't talk about him, but like something good happens, you're like, oh, thank Jesus, thank you. That's something to somebody when they look at that. And sometimes people will like one a good seed is this, right? Is if people believe that you believe, then they start to believe a little bit, you know? They're like, wow, this guy really believes this, what he's saying. And then you're like, yeah, I do. I'd die for that, you know? And people take it a little more serious. And I think that's why I think that like, you know, right? And whether that's, you know, giving God the glory or observing something that about God in real life, right? I think that's important, right? Or like, or is it roboting? Is this better? Is this better? I'm talking all soft. I guess I just got raptured. That's funny. Rob says, yes, my conviction poured right out, even surprised me, but she could see I was serious and proud to say it. Oh, that's amazing, man. That's so amazing, man. Hi, Michael. I just got raptured. That would be awesome, though, right? Like me and my brother did, like we were like making fun of each other. We do that. Like, yeah, man. After the rapture, man, can you like check my mail and stuff? You know what I mean? Like feed my cat. I need someone to water my plants, man. I figured you could do it. You know, since you'll be here. I need someone I could trust. You know, that's gonna be here. Yeah, but I can't wait, man. I can't wait. It's gonna be great to meet everybody, man. Just so. Rob says, honestly think your show has helped me with my convictions, dude. Well, you know, just us being together, right? Just us being able to know each other. And, you know, because here we're in reality all the time, right? So it's like, of course, God is true, right? And like, but like in the world, it's like most of the time people, they don't talk about God as like a matter of fact, you know? It's some kind of debate out there for some reason. And so when we're all just agreeing with it, you know, here because we know it to be true, then our faith gets pumped up, you know. I think, you know, And that's why I'm hoping that, like, if like new people, or when they come here, that they'll want to hang out, like, especially when we're like this, when everyone's vibing. I think this is like, yeah, it's awesome, right? There's no other place I would rather be. But when it starts getting all, you know, contentious and, negative and complainy a little bit. And it's like, yeah, well, I want to understand that too. People have feelings, right? And it's a good learning moment. But there's nothing better than when we're all on point, right? And man, that what a great place for somebody, like what you're saying, Rob, right? If you're like kind of alone out there, right? What a great place to be and be connected to other people, you know? Because like we're not into all the dumb stuff the world is into, right? You don't have to fit into no preconceived mold of the what the world wants from you. There's no judgment in that way, right? We're all judged basically on how much we love God, right? And that's how it should be. That's the only thing I ever feel like, that I either want more of or whatever. Is like, oh yeah, I wish I loved God, a little bit more, or I wish that I could uh, you know show it a little more in my walk, like this other person, right? I look up to this person. I want to be like them a little bit more. Things like that, right? Like we don't sit here and like, oh yeah, I wish I had that same car that he's got, or my lawnmower is who cares, man, about all that stuff. You know what? If I had a lawn, right, which I'm in California, I'll never afford one. But like if I had a lawn, I'd probably just let it grow, man. My neighbors would hate me. No, I don't know if I'd do that, because then there'd be little animals that are pests and stuff. But I would think about that type of thing. I don't think I'd do it though. It's like I want to offend you with my yard. You know what I mean? Like we should be talking about other things that matter more. Thank you, Rob, for saying that though. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's like a good family reunion, right? 2 times a day. Yep, yep, yep. Well, sometimes I'm like, man, here, here we go again, because like they come fast. Some of these shows, like when I have somebody that's on for like 2 shows one day, and then the next morning show, like when Stephanie and Jake used to do that. These shows come fast. It's like, man, we're already on another one. Like, and so when you never miss one, it's like, man, I, it, these things come up so fast. Yeah, definitely, Rob. I mean, you, do you have my number? I'm pretty sure I gave you my number a while back, but I know you're in Canada, so it's like a little different. There should be an easier way for us to text and all that stuff. Luke says, one of my good friends is so close to connecting to God. He's into a lot of conspiracies, but doesn't bring up the Bible much. Although I don't think he denies it, I'm hoping that he will feel the Holy Spirit soon. Well, do you think that there's something in his life that he doesn't want to give up? Like there might be something that it might be contrary to God that he doesn't want to give up yet. Sometimes that could be it too. And we all go through that. We all go through that. I know that when I was in my deepest part of my addiction, right, it would have been hard for me to quit. To if I had to quit before I could become a Christian, then it would have been hard. I love the fact that you can go to God with your addiction and get help. God walks you through it. You can go to him as you are. But sometimes we want to hang on to it, like it's still fun somehow, or it's still still works for us in some way. And I don't know, man. There's a lot of things I look at, like now it's obvious, right? Like there's nothing on earth that anybody could give me that could ever, take me away from what I know about God and how much I love him, right? But like there was times where I didn't know God like this though. And there was some things on earth that were, worth something to me in that way. You know what I mean? Like when you don't know, you overvalue things in the world, And then when you really know the truth, you're like, wow, man, that was nothing. That was absolutely nothing. And there's some people that sold their whole soul for like, trinkets, man. And see, like I would, okay, so if somebody wanted to buy my soul for like $1 billion, there's no way I would do it. And I never thought, I'm like, how do people sell their soul knowing that they're gonna go to hell forever, right? Or whatever. That's one of the possibilities. Now I personally think we just, go in the lake of fire and poof, you're destroyed. But I can't disprove eternal conscious torment. So it's still on the table, right? I would never roll the dice, right? And so I wouldn't sell my soul for $1 billion, and I always wondered how anybody could do that. But now that I've seen, like, there's some very mean people in the world, and I could literally see someone like selling their soul for like $1,000, like something small like that. Because there's people that like look forward to doing evil. They look forward to doing something grimy. It's like they get joy out of it. I've never owned a cell phone or sent it. You've never sent a text message? That's why you haven't texted me. I was like, man, I was wondering why you never texted me, because I thought I've emailed my number to you a few times. That's actually pretty good, man. You've never sent a text message ever? That's amazing. The first time I saw a cordless phone, right? I was shoot, I think I was like 8 years old, 7 or 8, and I was like, man, what? The voice isn't going through the cord. How is the voice getting to the phone? You know. But what's crazy, like, I knew about walkie-talkies and I knew about stuff, but why didn't my head put it together? I guess as a kid. I didn't do anything, but yet I like was all over the internet to where, because like okay, you're sitting down right now and you're in my chat, right? Then let's say Jake and Stephanie were gonna have a show next, right? It's like, hey, meet me over at Jake and Stephanie's. Well, in our mind, we're going somewhere to the other place, and then we're gonna be there when we haven't got moved at all. Like, but like in our mind, we're going other places on the internet. Oh yeah, I'll meet you over there. Like it's some far off place, but it's really right here, and I'm not gonna move. That's so crazy. Oh, alien abduction. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I know. There's no such thing as aliens. Well, it almost was a relief to me that like there's no aliens anymore. Because it's like, okay, one less option I gotta really think about is some green guy coming from like, light years away, as if that's a real thing. I really used to believe all the stuff they were saying, man. 28 million light years away, man. You'd have to be going so fast, to make it here. Can you imagine if you were going like the speed of light and then you like banked on a turn? Like all the blood in your head would go to one side. Like you would die in 2 seconds if you like hit a bump. Like what why did I ever believe that was could be real? Do you think they will fake an alien takeover? I think they will fake something to do with the population. So I think they'll do something obscure that like the alien people will take as aliens, and the fallen angel people will take as fallen angels, right? It's kind of like the same information that means two things to two different people. They're good at that. Like if they want to appeal to, so if they say something like, there's this new Black Death heroin that's on 6th Street or whatever. Well, regular people are going to stay away from there because there's heroin there, right? But people that want to do heroin are going to go there, right? It means two different things to two different people. And I think they'll say something like, yeah, this green guy in this vehicle came, and they won't say it's aliens, but the alien people will think, oh yeah, that's aliens. And then the fallen angel people will be like, no, it's chariots, man. It's chariots with a green angel in it. Or something like that. It'll be something weird like that. I don't know how they get so good at the details. But on some of their little scams, right? It's so obviously like mockery. And some of their stuff is so genius. Who knows? Yes, Faith, you too. It's interesting to think about. You're right about that, Luke. Absolutely. Absolutely. Is it going to be Friday tomorrow? Yeah. Are you coming on tomorrow morning, Luke? Or I've been looking forward to that. It's up to you. We could move it to Saturday if you can't do it tomorrow. Completely up to you. Like, I think it'd be fun to talk about because I think that they have all the technology to do it. You know, to at least do a fake, like a fake event, or you know, put some flashy lights in the sky and say something happened. At least that. All right, cool, cool, cool. Tomorrow morning, maybe we'll go over it, where they're at this point. Yeah, aliens will be in disguise. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Or like if the demons look weird enough, maybe they'll just come as themselves and say they're aliens. All right, Faith, have a good dinner. You guys are eating late, man. What is it, 8:30 over there or 7:30? Yikes. I'd be starved over there. I'd be like, oh, where's the cheese and crackers, man? At about five about 5 p.m. I'd be looking for them. I eat a lot of snacks anyway. I like snacks. I'd rather eat about 5 snacks than to have 2 meals, you know what I mean? I don't know how that works out mathematically, but sounds good to me. More fun. Not like snacks as in like, food that's garbage, but like eating it like small meals, or really small, tiny meals. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think that it definitely there's something gonna happen. And I think that Because there's going to have to be either a way to explain away a rapture or explain away why. Uh, yeah, I mean, I see it necessary for a few different things. I don't want to speculate on some of them, but if there's a rapture for sure, they're going to have something that explains that. Operation Bluebeam. Yep. I've been hearing about that Operation Bluebeam for a long time. It's Richie from Boston. He showed something where it coming from the sky that was like zapping some power lines or something. I'm like, now that's interesting. People some people get too many subscribers, and then I'm like, I don't know, man. Like how are you getting all these subscribers? If I get a strike for just saying one little thing, and I get a strike before I even ended the stream, then how are people getting? See, they're roboting the truth. Okay, I'm back. Oh, it's not a it didn't robot. Oh, but yeah, like there's always something, right? Some kind of technological thing. There's no way they would let somebody organically get up to like 300,000, 500,000 subscribers. Because a lot of my favorite channels are like that. Like they have like when I first started watching YouTube, I used to love like the scariest movie ever made with KJ. And but I'm like, man, that's a lot of subscribers he has now. I mean, I still like him as a person, but it's harder to trust it when it's that many. Because you're like, it's on some level you're allowed to be on here saying whatever you want. Reagan said something about aliens. Yes, it said he said that nothing would bring the world together more than an alien threat. That it would people would get over their differences on Earth to get together to fight an alien attack. Yeah, you're right about that, Luke. It was Reagan. Why is this stream messed up tonight? I thought the vibe was good today, man. I always go by the vibe of the people, not how much how good the show was, right? Like I judge how good the show is on how everyone feels when they leave here. Because if everyone's charged up, ready to do their day or ready to take on the evening or whatever, then I'm happy with that. Yeah, double agents, 90% truth, 10% lies. Exactly. I think it's like gatekeepers, Rob, right? Where like, yeah, they'll tell you about flat Earth, they'll tell you about the trans agenda, right? But they're gonna block, say they'll never talk about Jesus or something. They'll block that, or they'll talk about flat Earth, but they won't talk about Hollywood, or they'll talk about celebrities, but they won't say that it's more than just celebrities. And yeah, there's going to be a lot of those because like when they can't keep the truth completely under control and it gets out, then they take the place of the person giving you the truth. Then that's when you get people like Alex Jones. Oh, okay, Michael. Yeah. That's what they do. They attack the truth, Michael. The technological difficulties and all that. I think that the closer you get to the truth, sometimes you'll see that it happens too often in that way for it to be a coincidence, you know? Yeah, gotta stick quiet and listen for God. That's right. That's right. Let's just run it for 2 hours. 2 hours. Oh man, I was ready to hit the old dusty trail, and you're talking about 2 hours. If I could go another 10 minutes, then I will. There's just been so much, right? So much stuff, and so much. There's a lot of people that need a lot of help, you know, a lot of guidance, right? And I feel like we're at a point now where everybody needs guidance, but like we don't have like that one really qualified person to be the guidance. And so we all have to kind of like take turns taking care of each other. Oh man, I want pancakes. Why did you have to say pancakes right now, man? Like make pancakes tonight and then wait until the morning. Yeah, they would be cold probably. Or you could just heat them up. You know, you'd have to put real butter on them then. Put real butter on them and put them in the microwave. But Rob, you're over on the English speaking side, right? Of Canada. You're like on the west coast, right? I That's what I thought. I didn't know where you were at. I know that it's like y'all live close to the border. It's like every Canadian person I've ever met lives very close to American border. Oh, so you're over there by the islands and all that, like by the water, basically. You're practically from Washington. I think that's pretty cool. I don't know why we all don't just like connect the countries together, you know? Yeah. Well, Canada is nice. I mean, especially if you like nature and that kind of stuff, right? If you're into that, then there's nothing better. Full access to maple syrup. Yeah, yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah. It's amazing. Man, that's another reason I can't wait for the Rapture is to meet all you guys. I think that's going to be the only time where we're going to really all meet together, everybody. That's going to be one of the best, like the best parts of it for me. Get to see everybody. Yep, yep, yep. Like Sleepy Joe. Yeah. I think that's kind of a compliment by calling him Sleepy Joe, right? Because he makes no sense at all. I think his computer chip that they put in his brain, I don't know if I think it's skipping or something like that, you know? Because I think when they start talking about direct interface with the um you know artificial intelligence, I'm starting to think some of them got their chip already or something. Because there's some people that seem way too smart, man. I'm like, why? How are they so smart, man? There's something going on here. Yeah, he's glitching out, right? He's glitching out. It's like he'll be talking and then he starts buffering. You know what I mean? That's so funny. Oh yeah, yeah, good old Pelosi. Well, you know, for 80 years old, she's not a bad looking lady, you know? I don't know. I know that it's going to be the end of the world soon because they always have like, you know, middle-aged, younger people like usually in government like running like, you know, in the Clinton era, the Kennedy era, right? It was like, you know, a president in his 40s, and everyone in Congress was like, you know, pretty much you know, a middle-aged guy acting like a frat boy, you know. But now, if you look at the age of everyone in politics, I mean, they're all like 80 years old, man. And you're like, man, why are they going to drag out Alan Greenspan here? He's like 99 years old, or, you know, something crazy, right? And you're like, I think this is the last group of them, and they're just so old now that it's just, this is it, you know? Like, they're in that last generation. There is no next generation of them. Yeah, I mean, holograms. I think that what they're hoping for is for transhumanism, so that they could stay young forever, because this is their last people, I think. I don't know, man. Who's the new group? You know, it just seems like, I mean, they're gonna roll Trump out again. Is like he's 80 something himself, right? Or upper 70s, right? And not that there's something wrong with that, right? It's just that, like, this is the time to get out of politics, not a time to start going back in for another commitment. And thank you, Mark. I appreciate that. But it's I like how you say halo instead of hello. That's so great. Yeah, I thought about that too. And yeah, who knows anymore? Alrighty, guys. Well, thank you guys for coming out. I appreciate it. By far the best part of my day, especially when the vibe is like this, man. It's nothing better, man. Nothing better than this. Not for me. And so I'll say praise Jesus for his sacrifice and his grace. All glory to God, because he deserves it. Please pray for the children. Please pray for anybody that's out there being victimized. Pray for each other. It's important. And Lord willing, I will see you guys tomorrow at 7 a.m.